So I had the Eagle sound on all the time. Sorry about that. Well, I got to listen to the music. You guys didn't. Sorry about that, but y'all know what it is. Eagles wear boxes. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Deuces, yeah. Yeah, we up in here. What's going on now? How y'all's at? How y'all been? How's everything going out there for the folks out there? All the good and bad people, how y'all doing? No, I ain't no hater, man. I don't discriminate. If you bad, you bad. Ain't nobody really good, no way. I say it, but no, ain't nobody's good. Sorry. Oh, my children are good. Ain't nobody good. Nobody. Sorry. You think they good? They sound good, but they not good. 'Cause you don't see what they do behind your back. Why you thinking they so good? They ain't good. Believe, trust and believe. We had good fights. I kind of, you know what? I didn't realize. I don't know. You guys probably got to keep me updated. Or let me just check real quick. Let me figure this out. Okay. Don't worry, we get there. Try to figure something out real quick. 'Cause it's like, what the heck happened? Uh, 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 nope, not you. Not you. Oh, it's hard to. Sometimes these things is hard to navigate. You know, sometimes it's just hard to find stuff. Like, what the heck? I'm going to vent a little in a little bit. Just no. Some of I don't even want to really say, but I'm going to say. Yeah, you get the freedom of speech. You get to say what you got to say. Yep. So I'm going to say, and we had some good fights though. I guess depends on how you look. And some people don't like nothing. Oh, boxing is boring. This and that. Blah 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 blah. Whatever. You don't get what we getting what we get. Yeah, we had some horrible things. We had some things that we might look at as being horrible that happened, but it needs to happen. That's why it's happening. I could tell you why, but not yet. We'll get into that at another time. We'll get into that. Let's see what we got. Nope. So you guys gotta let me know which would, because I use Box. I think it's called Box Live, right? So a lot of times I use Box Live. I haven't. I don't know if I've been watching. I think I do. I've been doing boxing. I don't have any. I don't have them saved as anything in my browser, so I have to keep looking them up all the time. But I think so. The Avid Nation fight. I think that is already. That's canceled. Um, yeah, that's already. That one's canceled, so we gotta wait till the next weekend. Joe Joyce is gonna fight Derek Chisora again, I guess. So, and then finally in August we finally get Terrence Crawford. I think I'll be out of town for that one though. Anthony Joshua fighting Daniel Dubois. I don't know. I don't like either one of them that much. Dubois, go ahead and knock his ass out. I want nothing but upsets in the first place. So hopefully we can get some upsets. Yeah, so that's hopefully we get some upset. I'm upset right now. Lala D's here, so that's my upset right there. She says something there. Hey. But son tell you ain't all that, partner. Oh, oh wow. That's what I get. That's the kind of treatment. That's what I get out of you now. You ain't all that. Okay. Uh, I won't. I'll be. I'll be that. I'll be that. I'll be not all that. Somebody'll think I'm all that though. Maybe it's not you, but somebody's gonna think that I'm all that. Sometime. Sometimes they do. I don't know why, but they do sometimes. It's good. But I ain't all that. I gotta go see what. I know you got some. Probably got some more videos up, don't you? You're always putting up something. Oh yeah, so you know about the. So you're good into sports. It's too bad we didn't get to go to that world championship. Or did you go? Not the. I mean the trials. I guess we have to go next time. I am taking my ass to Eugene, out there to Hayward Field. You know, when they have one of these big events over there. I got to get myself up there. That track looks amazing, man. Looks like, I mean, just the way that they built that thing, man. They make it. They make you feel like you're running somewhere that's really really special, man. That place has been dropping some serious times and just records up there. What I was gonna ask you though. So, Arian Knighton. So what happened? What happened with Arian Knighton? That's what I'm trying. I'm trying to figure that one out there. Yep. I see Jamil out there. He said, "Let's go, family." He said, "Hit that like button on your way in, share and subscribe. It's free." You got that right, brother. It is. Everything free like that. Law D, you ain't say nothing. So what happened with Arian Knighton? We're gonna get into it. I don't like to go straight to the meat. You got to always. I mean, you get that salad and soup and stuff out the way first. Get the salad and soup out the way first. Now, I don't want nobody venting and going completely crazy today. There's perfect reasons to go crazy, but then if you live in the USA, there's such thing as freedom of speech. People don't get to practice it, but people say anything that they want to say. But then people want to be sensitive when certain people say certain stuff. And I'm not giving nobody any excuses for anything that they say or do, because at the end of the decision-making process, you are the one that decided to do what you did. I'm trying to steer away from that. I don't know. I'm probably going to have to start up some type of Patreon or something like that, but I'm going to have to get an audience for a different. I'm going to have to do a different. I'm going to do a different forum besides boxing. It'll probably be late or early in the morning, right before somebody goes to before bedtime or something like that. Let me see. So I can get probably 11 o'clock, probably 10 o'clock your time, Lala D, or 10:30, something like that. I want to do something that I would call educational, but it's going to be just for people. It's going to be for people who want to learn. They want to learn things that you can't research, that you can't find in the book, that you can't find in your history, you can't find from your family history and stuff like that. So even writing, what they consider writing, teach you a whole different way how to write. As a matter of fact, I'll teach you a way to write that you can even write stuff about up to a point. Well, yeah, there's ways to still do it. There's still ways to do it. I'll teach you a way to write so you can even write your name in a way that they can't even look it up. They won't even know what it means. So it's so important, though, that when you do that, that I have to have a specific audience, because how we get in trouble as people in the first place is information leaks. We get too many people that learn stuff that they're not supposed to learn. So it has to be more or less like I don't want to say honor, because we shouldn't have to look at it like that. And I don't like people just going to keep an oath, because there's always going to be somebody who breaks it or whatever. And then again, I shouldn't mind if it does leak. But the thing about it is they won't be able to decipher anything. What if I told you there was a language? So there's a language that you are to speak that nobody knows. That's all. That's almost unheard of, right? Except for like some of these tribes that are hidden away in places that are just undiscoverable because you don't want to discover, because once you see poison animal darts everywhere, you don't even want to venture in there. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about something that you can really communicate with. And I'm just giving you a brief. I'm giving you just like a little brief on it so you can understand. So I want to say that if you learn this, you won't be learning the same kind of a language that this is right here. And matter of fact, you will be a participant in writing the language. And you will find out how easy it is to write a language. You understand? You'll see how easy it is to write a language, because what we use more. It's going to be more symbols. I'll give you like an example, something that you've never seen. I'll see you out there, Sir Flame. I'm gonna get to you, brother. I'll show you something on. Let me see. I'm a type of person. I'm always like doodling and writing down stuff. I got so many ideas and projections. I got so much stuff I'm working on that it's just crazy. My mind is always going. Especially when you live in a certain place, your mind just goes. So let me just show you something. So this might look like it. So it may look familiar, like a little bit. It might look a little bit familiar, but it is not as familiar as you might think. And once I show you how it works, you'll be like, oh wow, because it does look. And these are symbols. These are symbols for a language. And I'm just going to give you two of them. They're the same exact thing. They both are the same. The one above is just like the one below. And one of them is more simplified than the other one. I'm just going to show them to you. You don't know what they mean, so don't sit there and don't even try to think about it. You can't look them up, so don't think about it. Nobody knows about it. But see, if you can see that, if you can see that, those are the same. So we're gonna learn how to do this and translate that into whatever your English or whatever your name is. You're gonna translate that. But the thing about it, what makes that language so powerful is that you're learning from the baseline, you're learning from the bottom. And so when you're learning this language, you understand you are the etymology of this language. Think about this. Nobody's ever told you that, but you are the etymology of that language. So you are the understanding of that language. So nobody will be able to twist it. You know how they twist language and stuff. Say, oh, well, this is a root word, came from Greek, this, that. It doesn't come from that. This comes from the beginning. This comes before there was any language. Before there was any written language. This comes before that. So, not going to be able to trick somebody and say it's this and say it's that. Yeah. I see you wrote something down at the bottom. I got you, Sir Flame. I don't know what you said, but I'll get to you, man. Let me see what y'all got. Yeah. Okay, Jamil, I got Jamil already. But anyway, we right back here. And Lala D said, last I heard, he said Knighton can compete at the Olympics. Okay. He said he had an independent source give their take that they believe that his failed test was a contaminated oxtail. Oh man, not the contaminated meat again. The contaminated oxtails. When the last time you saw an ox? When the last time anybody saw an ox? Y'all gonna blame it on the oxtails. Now I'm done. I'm completely done when they start blaming stuff on chitlins and stuff. Then I'm completely done. They say, okay, that's something there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Salute to Eagles Web. Salute to the chat. And as always, jab that like button on y'all neck. Don't get naked. Eagles Web boxing. Sir Flame said, got the flames up real good, baby. Don't forget about that 100 piece. We put 100 pieces on it. So don't forget about that, baby. Sir Flame said, salute to the queen at Lala D. Sir Flame is, he said, he said, boo-hoo, Eagles Web. Why boo-hooing? Hey, no, I didn't lose nothing, brother. What you talking about? Who'd I lose? I pick winners, man. I told y'all on my little brief. Well, did I put it in there? I had to talk to Lala D. I don't know. Did I put it in there or I didn't put it in there? I could have swore I said I had my winners and stuff picked. Everybody won, did I say it? I had Shakur. What are you talking about? Ain't no Shakur hater. I mean, a lot of people saying his stock dropped. He just ain't gonna get the money that he's not gonna get the money as a lot of these fighters ain't gonna get the money that they think they're gonna get. Just like I was saying about Boots. Boots was supposed to do a better job than what he did. But that's what's happening when you got movement. These guys cannot fight a moving target. Oh, wow. Did I let that slip out? I should let that slip out. But most of these guys, they can't fight moving targets, though. They cannot. None of them. None of these guys can fight moving targets. They cannot. They wait for you to set. They cannot fight moving targets. It's hard. Nobody. None of them. Even the ones that move, they cannot fight moving targets. You got two moving targets, you ain't going to get a fight. You got two just moving forward and backwards, you're just going to get a chess match. It's just the matchups, like I keep saying this over and over again, that these matchups are not falling under Marquez or Queensberry rules. They're not falling underneath that whole guideline that has been put in place for over 100 years. They are not fighting under that guideship. They are not. You understand? They're not fighting like that. We got to get them back to fighting like that. Like, yeah, y'all going to have to fight underneath these guises. I just heard just got me another notification. I'm always getting notifications on something. But I'm not going to pick it up. Yeah. A lot of these say, Sir Flynn, a lot of these again, I told you, hold a private online lesson just for us. Okay. Well, just email me. Do you have you got my email or no? I'll give it to you. I just gotta, because I haven't really been checking. I've been checking Eagles Web boxing email for a while. You probably left me some. I probably got messages in there that's so old. Probably at least I would say at least 3 months, maybe. But I'm gonna send you my other email too. We'll talk about that. I think it's exciting. For me, it's way exciting because it's something I always wanted to do. But for me, sacred is sacred. Because there's always too many leaks. But when you do something where people can't even figure it out because they can't find it. I can't find that in none of the books. Good. We don't want you to find it in any books. Because at one point we need to be speaking our language. We need to be speaking a language where nobody knows but us. That's it. We need to be writing a language that nobody that's here knows but us. Because you're always going to have some scientist or somebody that thinks there's some kind of encryptologist or whatever. Somebody who thinks an etymologist, that feels like they are the originator of what's going on. But if you originate something yourself, which we don't do, or we allow people to take it right away, as soon as we originate something, we let everybody steal it. All the great musics and stuff, because music was never yours, you think it was. All the great music and stuff that was taken away. I'm looking at these little kids from over in other countries just playing jazz while we out here, while we're over here twerking. That wasn't. That was something that came from the Tamerica, the Tamerican. This land is where that originated. But they never, the ones who originated never owned it. Just put it on display. Because most stuff is not important to us. Even if it could be for something that could be for our survival. We need to start, when we make stuff, we got to start embracing it and we got to start keeping it for ourselves. I don't care if you got to put, that's why they put, see, they were smarter than what you thought they were because they started making everything that you had to copyright stuff and you had to register things and you had to, yeah, that's what I was going to say, patent, that's what I was going to say. You got to patent everything. They did that and then they put the prices up on that because they knew that, I mean, you had stuff that should have been copyrighted. Right. You had stuff that should have been registered. You had stuff that should have been patented. But back in that time, you had the money to do it. But now they're putting it out of reach. Now they're putting the money out. So, oh, these people really are. They're recognizing that, hey, they the ones that actually do all the inventing and everything else. But I don't have to patent the language. Because first of all, this is something that's spiritual. So if you're not spiritual, it's going to be hard for you to get it if you don't have something inside of you that says, I got to open up and listen and pay attention and not try to know so much. But at the same time, I'm telling you that the etymology of our language comes from us. And we practice it. We practice it because we even twist up the language or any language that's given to us. No matter where we are on this earth, we twist it and change it to fit our cultural habits. And at the same time, then other people get that. Oh, I like that. Because people, they pick up from what you do and you don't understand that. So they got to pick up, if you're going to pick up something from us, you're going to pick up something that's righteous from us. That's what you need to be picking up from us. Because I saw him. So I had my little boy like that. And I was grabbing, I grabbed him by his head and stuff. I said, somebody was watching me do that. I said, give me the head like that. Give me the head like that, messing with him. And that's how our language, because you got to realize everything's a language. A handshake is a language. A salute is a language. A lot of things, this is a language. A lot of things. But are those really meaningful languages? Are those languages from the past? Are those languages that we take forward into what they call future? Are those just languages that, are those something that's going to just bio? So what we do now is we come up with something, everything becomes faddish. Everything becomes like a fad, even like a handshake or anything else, to embracing everything, even the language, people, it's just so many things, man, from 304. 304 been around a long time. Thoughts, all this stuff has been around. You don't have to be so cool to where you change everything all the time. You change it so much that it doesn't have the same meaning. So that's why I'm interested in teaching something that doesn't change in meaning, that you can't change the meaning. Because the proprietors of it will not allow you to change it because they're still here. If you start saying, so that way we'll check people, when they start using our language wrong, we'll just check them right away, say that's not, you can't use that, can't use it in that manner. Anytime you catch somebody using it, you look at it as something that they broke the law when they did it. They broke our law when they did it. They said, Sir Frank said, I spent the holiday on the Indian campgrounds. That meant welcome. There you go. Now, I don't have nothing against, even that, a lot of things, even within the, native and Indian, because I'm native and Indian, and, I just don't like to tell people my saying. I'll tell you guys, though. So, this is what I say. I said, from the beginning, I'm brown from the ground. I said, that's what I say. That's what I tell people, from the beginning. From the beginning, I'm talking about my physicality. From the beginning, I'm brown from the ground. That's me. I got a lot of little sayings and stuff. People go, oh, I want to use your saying. I want to use it. People always want to use my sayings. It's okay. It's all right. I know where it originated from. See what I mean? Brown from the ground. Also another one that people talk about all these different understandings and all this type of stuff. I said every stand. So somebody wanted to steal that. Somebody out met some girls out, and when I went to a powwow, I was dancing. Yeah, I met them. They came over to the camp. They was like, yeah, I like that. They want to steal that. Everybody wants to steal. Everybody's stealers. Just hang around the ego, and we'll just learn. We'll learn and talk, together. So everything will be just right. That's not a bad thing. That's the whole point of movement, so that you don't get hit in boxing. Okay, well, that's you miss. Are you missing my point, Lord D? I said these guys cannot hit a moving target, though. They can't hit a moving target. If you look there, if you look on the screen right there, you see a guy that can't hit a standstill target. Because that standstill target is Muhammad Ali. That's why you can't even hit Muhammad Ali. Now, I'm not saying it's a bad. Now, anything I'm not saying it's not a bad thing. I'm saying that these fighters today, they can't hit moving targets. And we can't. That's why. And the reason I brought up the rules is because that's why we're not getting the matchups that we need. We need to get somebody in there that moves, and we need to get somebody in there that can hit somebody that moves. You understand what I'm saying? If we got two guys in there static, we ain't gonna get nothing. If you got two counter punchers fighting, it's not gonna be a fight. How much money are you gonna spend? Now, this is another thing I hear too, because I keep hearing there's all kinds of stories that pop up that Floyd. You guys heard anything about Floyd Money Mayweather is supposed to be fighting Tank in September or something like that? So that's another thing. There's just so many things that I let them go in one ear and out the other because I just don't know, because there's always something. Yeah, movement is great. I don't think Shakur's stock dropped. It wasn't that high. Oh, okay, it wasn't that high to begin with. I knew it was going to be 12 rounds by decision. Yeah, but everybody said that. Everybody said, oh, but this is what happened, though. Your hometown crowd, now this is the narrative that they're painting. Your hometown crowd leaves the fight before the fight's over with. Now, if you ask me, that's your stock dropping because your hometown people leaving. That their stock in you has dropped. So that means, therefore, your stock has dropped a little bit. I'm not saying he's not a bad fighter. He's a great fighter. I mean, great as, when I say great as in fighters of today. None of these fighters are great far as fighters of the past, and I will always stand with the past fighters until we get this group of fighters that are really great like that. We may end up with some great ones. We got some that are great, but they're not great on that level. They're not great on that level. When you match them up, they would have got, most of these fighters today would have got beat completely up. I think Floyd Mayweather, I think he would have lasted with some of the other great fighters. Bud Crawford would have lasted. He would have made it through, but I don't know if you, as far as that division, I don't know if you could make it through all those fighters that they had. I don't know if you could make it through Marvin Hagler, Roberto Duran, Sugar Ray Leonard, Tommy Hearns, Wilfred Benitez. I don't know if you could. I don't know if any fighter today would have made it through all those fighters. That's just. I mean, that's a tall task to ask anybody to try to go through. And that's just 5 of them. There was some other ones that was great. They was right on the edge. They was like some of these fighters are today. They was like, they would probably be A fighters today, but they were more or less like B fighters then. Yep. Yeah, a lot of they say, yeah, Cynthia, she said the Torah teaches that we must learn the way, because we're going to be in the leaders to, teach others. That's right. Oh, God, here we go. Here we go with this stupid computer screen. Yeah, teach others. That's what I learned, at least. That's why God let us know we change or suffer. Yeah, and that's true too, though. So we got to. So, but nobody's doing. I'm pretty good at watching what goes on. I don't get the chance to be on the internet, but I get, see, the thing with me, since I'm in advertising, I get to talk to people all the time. I'm always talking, and then I'm always listening. Like, what? Huh? And then I do have some of the, like, the social media. So I do have, like, the TikTok and all that. So I do, I can catch on to a lot of the stuff that they're doing today. You know what I mean? A lot of the fads and stuff like that. I can catch on to that. And to myself, I just say, you know what? With all the talent that we have right now, all the talent, we have a lot of talent. But with all this talent, we should be doing a lot more, because if you see, everybody follows you. They do everything that you do. Since they do everything that you do, then do the right thing, and then that they'll start doing the right thing. They don't even know why they're doing it. The thing about it is they don't know why they're doing the right thing. They just copying. And when I say that word copying, I'm trying to let you understand who you're with. I mean, people say harsh words about the copiers, but if you just saying copying is so not so abrasively offensive, if you know what I'm saying. And I don't like to do this kind of cold type talk. So it's better, like I said, if we have our language, then we don't have to use this language to say what I'm saying. I'll give you a little bit. So I'll give you a little bit. But I itch so much to give it to you. But my practice is patience, though, so that way I gotta hold it. I'm like, I don't say it. And believe me, I have talked to, or have tried to talk to, certain people that's in our society. I have tried to reach out to certain people that's in our society that you well know. You well know them. I'm not going to mention anybody, but people that, when I say people that are in our society, I'm talking about people that are like influential people that you think that I should talk to, that I've actually tried to. So don't think I haven't tried. I have tried. But since that didn't work, I kind of knew, hey, that's not what I'm supposed to do, because with me, I don't want to add to confusion. I want to add to understanding. Not just understanding, but the uplifting. I don't want nothing to be under. I want everybody to understand everything that I say. So if I say something to you, it's probably going to be 5-dimensional, and I want you to be able to see all the dimensions of it. I want you to see how it can go left, right, up, down, sideways, or how it can uplift. That's the way we want. That's the way we want to share it. Share it that way. Yep. No, it's not. You gotta say I'm brown from the boogie down. There you go. I'm brown from the boogie down too. That's the boogie down Bronx. NYC rapper said that. Yeah. Brown from the, I know that. I know about the boogie down. Yeah, I know about Boogie Down. Boogie Down Productions too. They had Boogie Down Productions too. And also, yeah, hey, my people from the Rotten Apple area. So I know a little bit about the Rotten Apple and all that. Because the Rotten Apple wasn't always the apple. And the Big Apple is, see what they call it, the Big Apple is because it's the big deception. That's why they got that apple. I shouldn't be teaching y'all stuff. Look at it. The Big Apple is just a big deception. Because the apple itself was a deception. I'm not saying apples ain't good for you, but that was the big deception in the first place. Because you're talking about lands that, let's go back and look at some of the old pictures. You mean to tell me you driving around in a horse and buggy, and you got buildings in back of you made out of marble, and you riding around in a horse and buggy? But then when you get out west, not west, but when you're traveling west on your way, where there's nothingness, where it's just not no civilization, Now you got wooden barns and cabins and houses, and you got horses and buggies. And it looks like that fits more better together, right? Than you being in a big city. Why is a big city looking all completed in the 1800s? You got this big cities just completed, and you had so-called slaves, but at the same time you got these huge buildings made out of marble and granite and all this. How'd that happen? You don't even have machinery yet, supposedly. I'm just saying. A lot of these say, yeah, that crowd was rude in my opinion, yeah. I mean, but let me say it like this. I'll ask you a question. So out of the last few years of boxing, has there been anything or any fights that you have watched that have been a little bit frustrating or difficult to watch? I mean, that's the question. Frustrating or difficult to watch? Has there been any fights that was difficult? Yeah, I'm going down to the bottom. She says, they'll be hating on my favorite city. Well, I don't care nothing about that trash pile. I mean, if you love it, then go there. Just don't go out at night. You're going to have dog-sized rats chasing you down the street. You know that place is dirty. Stop it. That place is slummy, dirty. That place is dirty. I mean, I don't really want to move away from the States or nothing like that, but if I did move over to some place like Asia or something like that, I could fit in a place like Singapore. I could fit in there. Because I ain't no lawbreaker. I could fit in. I'm not going to be throwing trash on the street and stuff like that. Because over there, you throw trash on the street over in Singapore, they're going to beat you with a cane in front of everybody. And I think you got to go back. If they don't hit you hard enough, or if they don't cause enough damage, I think you got to go back and get a couple of more lashes with that cane. Because you have to swell up. They have to swell your legs and back up. If they don't swell your legs and back up, you got to go. I think they got to redo. Don't quote me on that. But I'm hearing that they got to redo you. You got to be redone. If they don't get you done right, then they gotta redo you, son, all over again. So like, that ain't enough, man. That ain't enough. I kind of miss you. It's just like when you jump out the way when your mother, or somebody, your grandmother or something's trying to smack you, and you try to duck and get out the way. Say, oh hell no. They got to get that. So they got to be able to land on you. That's one thing about you girls, Lala D, you women. You guys got to be able to land on us. If you can't land, it just messes your whole day up. Now I couldn't even land a punch on them. They get so mad. I don't know. Maybe that's why I like to work with girls sometimes, is because they always want to knock my head off, and I don't allow them to. They get so mad. But that's the whole key, though, is just keep yourself from being frustrated. No, you can't always knock somebody's head off. So just don't get frustrated. And see, when we talk about, like, we go back to boxing, I'll get back into it. But we talk about boxing, we talk about the ring IQ. So what's happening with the ring IQ? If you're just doing what you normally do, that's not ring IQ. Ring IQ is being able to overcome what somebody's doing. Like, so with Shakur, it's not just being a back foot fighter or just standing in and out of range and keep from getting hit. The whole idea between boxing is to have offense and defense. Okay, your defense is on point, but let's offensively do something to show your level. I can't put you on the elite level if you ain't doing the elite stuff. And you can get mad if you want to get mad. That's up to you. But if you're not doing stuff that's elite, then what can I say? Where my guy at? That was in here, that was just in here. He left already. Jamil, you got quiet all of a sudden. What happened? Jamil got so quiet. He said like and subscribe. I don't even know if is that one of our subscribers? Is it somebody that changed their name? It might be somebody who changed their name, right? Did you guys recognize who he was? Jamil Farid. I don't know. He's not. He's quiet all of a sudden. Yep. Okay, Sir Flame said Keyshawn had the fight of the night. He said hands down. Keyshawn's fight was pretty decent. Oh no, this is what I wanted to ask too though, because I didn't get to go back. I didn't get to see the decision. I watched the fight, but I didn't get to see the decision, and I didn't get a chance to check it out. What happened to Osaki? Now I seen some little clip that said that he lost. Now, when I was watching that fight, he was winning. So I don't know what happened. Did he lose? Yeah, La D with her one of her stories. Did she remember she lived in Miami? I was at a championship game, and Ray Allen saved us. Okay, the Heat with LeBron, said Wade and Boss, and we went on the overtime one. He said the lame fans left early and had to return. That happens, but that whole fans leaving and have to return, that happens for different reasons too. A lot of times, especially I like when fans have to come back when they think something's over and it's not over with. Oh, we down by 9. Who was that? That was I don't know who the opponents was, but that happened in basketball with when Tracy McGrady. I think he made 9 points or something like that in 20 seconds. That's crazy. 9 points in 20 seconds to turn around the team. Yeah. Okay, here we go. She said, I'm going to look up the big deception. Yep. What Lana D said. She said, Sunday, you're NYC hater. We party all night in New York. Nothing like it. I'm not saying how you party all night. You can party all night almost everywhere. And Vegas is the place that you can party all night compared to any other city. But the thing is, even they have a cutoff time. I think they cut off for like an hour though. Most anywhere else in the States, when it comes to drinking, you can't. It's only a certain time. You can't drink past, like where I live at now. You can't buy alcohol past 2 o'clock in the morning. You can't buy. There's no more alcohol buying. And there's some states. Do you know there's some states you cannot buy alcohol on Sundays? Did you know that? Mm-hmm. Now I was looking back at this fight. This is an old fight. You already know me. I'm always gonna go back and forth in fights because people bring up fights. I'm like, wait, it made me go look at this fight. So when I was looking at this, and this is something to explore. And what made me explore this in the first place was, remember when Tony Harrison got beat up by Zoo? Remember when he got beat up by Zoo? When he got beat up by Zoo, I noticed something in the ring. I noticed that the ring was slippery. Even though they mostly stayed up on their feet, at one point there was a slip. I think Tony did slip a little bit. So there's an old school fight that I was watching. Everybody's talking about it, how tough Ernie Schaefer's is, how hard he hits and all that. So I went back and looked at the fight with him and Randy Tex Cobb, because somebody had posted a little bit of the fight. So I went back and looked at it. And when I looked at it, Ernie Schaefer probably could have won and he probably could have got a knockout. But when I looked at it, for some reason, Ernie Schaefer did not have his feet underneath him that whole time. He was slipping in that ring. So something was done with that ring. But I didn't go back. I need to go back and explore that on big screen so I could see exactly what was happening. If it's shining, was it labels, or what was going on? Was it his shoes? He had leather bottoms, slick bottoms, or something like that. So a lot of times when these fight happens, a lot of times we look at boxing skills. All we're looking at is boxing skills, gloves. Only thing people worry about is the gloves, the illegal gloves. They put something in the glove, wrap it a certain way, or whatever. But they're not looking at, the shorts don't matter as much. I mean, you can probably get some shorts that can mess you up. But the shoes, that's the most important thing, because that's where most of the power comes from, is the shoes. If you slipping and sliding all over the place, I got to go back and look at the Haney fight too, because Haney looked like he had on some kind of slippers. I don't know what he was wearing. And that might have attributed also to part of that ass whooping that he took. But back to what you're saying. What are you talking about, Lotta D? It's my family from Brick City. What are you saying? Stop. Stop playing. I mean, well, Brick City is right. I mean, come on, Brick City. What's the difference between Brick City and NYC? Explain this. Explain to me that. What's the real? What's the huge difference? They're like intermixed. They're right here, right? They're right with each other, right? So now we'll talk about it a little bit. So Shakur. Now the reason I put Shake More Shakur, is that what I was just talking about is that fighters with the so-called ring intelligence, the ring IQ. So what happened with a fighter with great ring IQ is they have to get to the point where you become elite or good. So we can't put none of these guys on the elite level if they're lucking up and getting a knockout at the last round and shit like that. Case in point, Deontay Wilder never would be an elite fighter. Matter of fact, I was looking back at the small clip when he was face to face with Lennox Lewis, and Lennox Lewis was trying to teach him how a professional professional jabs, and this is when he was younger. This is when Wilder was younger. See, he was trying to teach him, how professional doesn't bring the jab all the way back up in here. That a professional that kind of holds the jab out a little bit. We hold the jab out because we know that the protection, you can get them back in for the block, but when you throwing it, if you're in the position to throw, you throw more or less from here. And when you turn it, you get that little, you see what I mean? And that was way back when Wilder was younger, so he wouldn't even listen to one of the great fighters way back then. Then what's the chance of him listening to anybody now? When you're younger, you'll absorb stuff a lot better. They're the same place. Stop it. It's the same. When I say they're the same, is the intermix of them. I know one is the Garden State and one is the Dirty State. I know that. You got the Trash State, and then you got the Garden State. Trash State, Garden State. The coolest people come out of Jersey. I don't know what you thought. The coolest people come out of New Jersey. The coolest people. The coolest people, because I've met the coolest people. I don't know if Sir Flame has. He probably has too. Some out of Texas. I mean, I got people all over, I don't know nobody. But the coolest people, tell you the coolest people come out of. Now, some of them come. Now, you get a handful out of New York. Maybe. But out of all those people that they got there, think about this. People brag on New York so much. Give me the list of champions that actually was born, not that went to New York and won championships. Even in boxing, name me all the boxing champions out of New York. And you don't even get to use Tyson at all. Great. I'm talking about great champions. From out of the list of people that we know. The great heavyweight champions. I mean, I forgot, you ain't got to go everywhere. Give me great heavyweight champions that were like great that were out of New York. And I'll give you somebody that was from a southern state that beat the crap out of them. So just give me this. We'll just stick with heavyweights. Give me a heavyweight that was out of New York, and I'll give you somebody that was either from the Midwest or the East Coast that beat the crap, or the South that beat the crap out of them. So don't play with me. Don't play with E. I'm not no play toy. What I'm saying, everybody think because New York got so many people, man, but ain't nobody coming out there just doing all these great things though. There's nobody coming out of New York, and I'm gonna bash New York now. You got all these people. How come you ain't got no greats coming up out of there? You ain't got no greats coming out of there for what, track and field and nothing. What you got? You got one. At least Jersey got one, right? Don't Jersey got one? What's her name? Sydney what? Sydney McLaughlin. How many she got? How many, like 3 or 4 world's records already within the last couple of years? I think Moo. What's her name? I think Moo. Where's she out of? Huh? Ain't she out the same area? Okay, but back. I kind of digress. So the coolest people. This is the coolest people, as far as guys. The coolest guys. Some cool ass girls. Some cool ass girls come out of DC. I'm sorry. There's some beautiful, cool ass females that come out of DC. So the three places where the cool people come out of. And I'm not excluding like New York and nothing like that, but I'm saying the three coolest places people come out of, I'm telling you, it's Jersey, Washington, D.C., and I don't know if it's, I know it's Ohio, but I don't know if it's Cincinnati. I think it's Cincinnati. It's either Cincinnati or Cleveland. That's where the coolest guys come out of. I mean, the coolest guys. Dress-wise and all that. It's where the coolest guys come out of. You give me one person. You gave me one person. Get out of here. And he got beat up by a foreigner. Stop it. He let a foreigner put him out of boxing. And I love him too. I love him too, but he got beat up by, he let a foreigner beat him up. He let Galata take him out of boxing. She said, Loudly said something. Brownsville, Brooklyn has the most champions than any other area. Stop it. Oh my goodness. That was not what the question was. That wasn't the questions. I see you out there, little brother. I see my brother Gil up here. He said something as well. Really bold. He said, learn boxing. I know. She said, he said, hey, Lala. She said, learn boxing. Really bold, Tyson, Zab, Jr. That's not what I said. That's not what I said. That's not what I said. I said heavyweights. You got three of them up there. The only one you got up there, to be honest, the only one you got up there right now that didn't get the dog shit beat out of him was Riddick Bowe. Huh? That's the only one you got up there that didn't get the dog shit beat out of him. Huh? That's the only one you got up there is Riddick Bowe. I like Big Daddy. I like Big Daddy Bowe. I like Big Daddy Bowe probably more than the most of them you put up there besides Zab. I like Zab. I like Zab a lot. But the rest of them got the dog shit beat out of them. Besides Riddick. Riddick Bowe's the only one on that list that didn't get the dog shit beat out of him. That didn't get K completely old. The rest of them have been K completely old. I said, I know, but you put Zab Judah is not a heavyweight. Danny Jacobs is not a heavyweight. She said you literally asked us to name one heavy, and I didn't say one. I just said name all the heavyweights. But you know what? You ain't gonna make me fall in love with New York and stuff, because a lot of down there where Gil Coles lived at, there's a lot of great athletes that come out of Florida and down in Georgia, all these little. And I'm just saying, for the size. You're missing my point. For the size and the amount of people that live there, 11 million people. You got 11 million. I don't know. I might be boosting up to. It's probably 11 million because you got so many millions just hiding. So, 11 out of 11 million people, you're supposed to corner the market on every sport. If you got that many people there and you so great, you ain't supposed to. It shouldn't be having people coming out of little place. You got places like, even in California, you got places like Oakland where you got Andre Ward. They never got beat up. Never lost a fight. You got little places in Georgia. Don't you know? That's why you couldn't even see people that fall out of New York. You couldn't even mention. See how you couldn't even mention Sugar Ray Robinson. You couldn't mention them. Joe Louis. You couldn't mention them. See, you can't even mention Philly. Can't even really mention Joe Frazier. Joe Frazier's not from Philly. Sorry. See, a lot of the athletes and stuff, a lot of the people that come out of New York that do sports ain't even from New York. You got some great basketball players now. I'm going to tell you, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, yeah, he come out of there. And he one of the best basketball players ever because of what he did. Because he had a tool, which was called the skyhook, that he used that as a dominant weapon. But then again, I'm just messing with you anyway. I like to mess with you because I know you get probably your feathers is you probably got your feathers all ruffled. I should have told you I was just messing around, but anyway, I got your feathers all ruffled up. She mad. Eagle always starting stuff. You did ask his name Champion. You a butterfly. Yes, I'm still. She put up the Statue of Liberty. Hey, don't put up the Statue of Liberty because I'm gonna tell you who he is. I'm gonna tell you when you go there, look at him. Look at him and see if he got a girl face. I'm gonna tell you who he is if you keep messing with me. The rotten apple. I'm telling you. I'm trying to be I'm not slick talking or nothing like that. A lot of times I say stuff, and the funniest thing I might say, it might be the most righteous thing that I said. Because I don't want to say it like really harshly like that. You know what I mean? I don't like to say stuff harsh about stuff. The reason I tease New York because it's full of rats and stuff. Yeah, and so I'm gonna tease. I'm gonna tease New York. You feel me? I'm gonna tease them. You can't be living all dirty like that. I wouldn't live in like a lot of the ways that we live now. There's a lot of things that we do that we shouldn't even do. Just like, for instance, a lot of people, when you use toilet paper, you shouldn't even be using toilet paper because toilet paper is poisonous. You got to get a certain type of toilet paper. You guys want to know what it is? Let me know. Put up a 1 in the chat if you want to know what toilet paper you should be using. See, that's something simple. It's very simple. Put up a 2 if you have a filter in your bathroom for your shower for your water. If you got a filter. You got a water filter. You children is going to learn. You children is going to learn. Yo, ask what city you from. I ain't gonna tell you what city I'm from, man. I'll put it to you from here. I grew up in the most racist, and you can figure this out. I mean, if you can figure it out, and you're gonna figure wrong, because you're not gonna think it was the most racist. I grew up in the most racist state in the whole United States. The most racist. There's not a state that was more racist than this state. Is where I lived when I'm just saying I lived there when I was a kid. Then of course I moved everywhere, so because I'm a military guy. So I moved all over the place. But that's where I was when I was little. I was in the most racist state that there is. The most racist state. There is no state and I'm not gonna give you no more clues than that because I just want to see how smart you are because you'll figure it out. Okay. We all know the Statue of Liberty is a black female. Is that what you think it is? You better look at their face again. I'm talking about this. I ain't talking about what you see and I ain't talking about who you think of. You're probably talking about Queen Europa. That's who you're talking about. You're probably talking about Queen Europa and her, gifts and stuff like that. Queen Europa is different. I'm talking about the Statue of Liberty. That's not no female. That's obvious when you was a little kid. You looked at it like, what kind of face is that? Just look at the face. You'll see. The Statue of Liberty. And plus that thing is actually, the reason it's green is because it's by that ocean. It's actually copper. I don't think they've ever cleaned it. Or if they do clean it, it turns green within a couple of weeks anyway. It's going to turn right back green. Yeah. So it's not a black female. There's two things. There's two possibilities. But I'm going to give you this information. This is what I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you this information here. So this is important information to know, to every stand. this information right here. So the information is, if you do anything on Google, which you're gonna maybe get some information, but go probably, I would say, try a different resource. If your grandparents are still alive, or you got elders in your family that are books that had books, go get their books. Go borrow their books. They're not using them no more. Start getting information out of these books because, like I said before, a lot of these books have changed. Just remember I showed you, even when it came to that the Rona, when I showed you the 1989 medical encyclopedia, when I showed that to you, that all that information has changed now. So here's this is what's important. When you go look, this is what you got to do. So when you look on Google, you have to play kind of like naive when you go on Google. You got to ask questions when you go on Google. Like, is there such things? You got to put like, I heard that there was such and such. You have to use words like you're really confused and you just don't know. Like, is it this or is that? And just word it like you really just are so confused. So anytime you look for something on Google, make sure you sound like you're really confused, and you might get the real answer. So there is I don't know, they didn't have the land patent office at the time. But at one point, I didn't print it out because I heard about it and I was just trying to figure out. So at one point, our capital had even there was a registry at, I'm not going to say, so I said that maybe land patent office wasn't around at the time, but there was a request either to have it changed or to have it renewed. And this is our state capital. Our state capital used to be known as Rome. And I'm not trying to confuse you and have you just thinking, woo. So I want you to every stand when I say that. I don't want you to get all confused. Well, Rome's over. Don't think that Rome's over in Italy. Just listen to what I'm saying. That it used to be known as Rome. Now, even if you act dumb and try to figure it out, well, you might be able to. But I kept going back to try to get into information because there was some pages. I used to be able to pull up these pages where it told the whole story, the U.S. story. But at that time, I wasn't wasting like print. But the one thing about them sites is they're like floating sites or whatever. I don't know what else to call them. Is that once you find that information, you can look at it the whole time you're there. But when you go back to try to retrieve that information again, it's not going to be there no more. So it would be nice if you could do it on the phone, but it's harder to read on the phone. Or either, find, if you got your computer set up a certain way, make sure you screenshot everything. So that way, if you need to print it, you can print it. So our capital used to be known as Rome. I'm just putting that out there. So regardless of what you think, they had a land patent for our capital. Didn't used to be those letters like it is now. As you see, I'm trying to keep from getting in trouble, but it used to be known as Rome. Now, the two people now this is another thing that I found out. So I'll tell you who exactly. The Statue of Liberty is actually Apollo. That's the Statue of Liberty. But a lot of people will say something else. They'll tell you another male figure that is really evil. That's what a lot of the researchers are finding out now. But they used to have the comparison, and they used to have both of them like side by side. So you look up Apollo and then tell me what you think. And don't faint once you see that it is an exact copy of Apollo. That's what it is. Yep. Gil Cole said, I drank out the garden hose when I grew. That's when you was growing up. You can't do that shit now, Gil. That shit, all that plastic. They don't make, while you drank out, when you probably drank out of a rubber water hose. Do you hear what I said? Rubber. It's probably made out of rubber, maybe a few other little things, but rubber, I'm going to say nylon and cotton on the inside of that water hose. It's a little bit. Those water hoses are different now. They make them as cheap as possible. That stuff. As soon as you run water through it, is that whatever particles that's inside there is coming right into your system. Don't let your kids drink out of water hoses no more. Yeah, I know exactly. Nah, you can't live dirty, but you can live as a hater. Yeah, that's right, Lana D. I'm hating. Lana D. crying. Yeah, she said she lied somewhere in the Midwest. Yeah, Delaware. No, correction. Midwest or Delaware. Well, you guys already know. Well, you know my that's where my family is from. It's they from, but no, but me. I mean, I myself, I was. I actually I was a little kid in the most racist state there is. Yeah, my family's from the Midwest. Yeah, Midwest and East Coast. I told you guys the story before anyway. I already told you Jersey and Midwest out, you know. Missouri and Jersey gets together. They come up with an eagle. That's me, baby. Oh, wow. Yeah. It's called patina when it turns green. Yeah, but they actually have no, it's not that's just not just the patina, that's oxidation. But the patina now is, damn, I can't even show y'all. I'll try to put the picture up. I'll show you something that's over in the art gallery, because we have a piece over in the art gallery that is actually made and Gil Coles, you guys might not know. You guys don't know this. I don't know. I ain't sharing everything about Gil Coles. I'm not trying to share. He might not want to share, but he knows how that coloration thing works with metal. I'll just put it that way. Not telling his business or nothing like that, but he knows how that works. So I'm gonna try to post on here. I'm gonna show you something from the art gallery, and it is patina, and what it is just, I mean, I love this. It's very expensive though. It's what we want for it. I think we want 12,000 for it. It was some artist. I forget. I'll get all the information, but I think I have the picture in my phone. But I just got a new phone like a few days ago because I went without a phone for like probably over a month. My screen just went crazy. I couldn't. It just kept going in and out of apps. It was just doing whatever it wanted to. I couldn't even put my password in because it kept flashing and going up and shit. It just went crazy. But I finally got it in there. Yeah. But the people know how to work with the metal now, to where they don't have to use. I think they might use chemicals. I'm not even 100% sure. I mean, Gil probably would know. But anyway, so we have a piece there, a real nice piece. I'll probably share it with you on my. Once I email you, I'll share a picture of it, and you'll love it. So different elements they would put in, like on the metal or whatever like that, and so it gives it like even different colors, not just for the oxidation and stuff like that, but it will give it different colors. Well, just like with your pennies, it takes a while for your pennies to turn green, but I tell you, some people. Oh, so this is a good thing for you. So if you want to get some of the illness out of your system, so I do have a chain. Everybody's wearing gold chains and stuff. See, but the one thing about gold by itself is not going to take all kinds of. See, gold is more or less pure. And copper can be pure too. But copper is like, it takes, like say for instance, you got too much sodium in your system or whatever, it is going to pull all that out of you. If you wear the copper, you can wear copper bracelets, but I do have a real thick copper chain that I wear, and that thing, it would discolor. If something's wrong in my system, it would discolor in like one day. It would turn from copper to green in one day. Then I got to go back to clean it. I put it back on, and it takes a little bit longer for it to turn green. Then I polish it up again, and until I put it on, and then it doesn't turn green at all. I'm gonna stop telling y'all stuff. Y'all don't deserve all this knowledge and stuff, man. I'll tell y'all too much. Gil said the Eagles were from that certain part of San Francisco. Uh, so San Francisco, what people don't realize even about that. So San Francisco, it was already a big city. San Francisco was a big city before they called it San Francisco. It was a big city way before that. Like some of the cities that you see, like some of the cities that are small. I'm gonna just tell you guys this. You guys have to think. What you have to think, you have to think opposite of what things are. Now, sometimes things are the same, but they're the opposite. I'm gonna say it to you like this. So you may have a city that was a big city, right? It's a big city now. It might have always been a big city, but the big city might have changed. And then you have some cities that used to be big cities, now they're small cities. And you have some small cities that are big cities now, but they were always small. And that was done. Now, a lot of this stuff was done for a certain reason. Because if you think about it, just think about it in your heart, think about it in your mind. Up north, like New York, and all the way up until Maine and all that, Philadelphia, Maine, New Jersey, all that area up there, it shouldn't be as populated as it is. If you think about it, if you think about it, it shouldn't be as populated as it is. And I'll let you, so I'm going to leave the rest of that for you to figure out. Why, yeah, it's true. Why is it so populated? It shouldn't be, and you got other places that should be more populated than what they are. See? But that's something that you have to think about it. Yeah, Laudie said, I agree at Sunday. She said, oh yeah, I knew that at Sunday, Missouri. Yeah. Well, you know, I got family I got family that live downstairs from you, Laudie. Yeah, I got to go see them. I'll get over there. Maybe I'll see you when I get over there too, though. I don't know. So I think they're doing something next month. I can't go. I can't go next month though, but I know they probably doing something next month. I can't go over there. Because they've been just working me. Matter of fact, I'm having a hard time just getting some of the stuff done here that I need to get done. Okay, so did we miss something on my title page? Because that's the meat. What did we miss? We missed something. So what do you think, Gil? Gil Coles is here right now too, though. So Gil Cole, what do you think about Shakur Stevenson's performance? Did he have a great? Did he have a moment to where people are gonna be like, oh yeah, shit, yeah, I want to see Shakur again. Hell yeah, I hope he fight next month. Did we have one of those kind of moments? I'm not hating either. I'm just saying. We got to keep it boxing. We got to keep it a buck, though. When we gonna talk about this, you got to keep it a buck. We can't just act like, oh, that's my family from that's my family state. We can't. We got to stop that shit. We got to stop acting like we in love with these fighters and all that. You know what I'm saying? I play around and I mess around with some of this stuff because a lot of times I want the hate. I want the responses and stuff. I was messing with Lala D earlier, and she still can't get it out of her system. Steak, I don't like New York. No. I know some real nice people from New York. But I was, okay, so when I was talking about where the coolest people was from, like far as what guy-wise, I meant that shit. That wasn't no cap. I wasn't playing about that. The coolest guys, they come out of Ohio. I think it's Cincinnati. I don't know if it's Cleveland. Oh, Cleveland. Yeah, Cleveland. So Cleveland. Well, actually, Cleveland and Cincinnati. I'll just say Ohio. So Ohio, D.C., and Jersey. Those are the coolest ass people I've ever met. I'm not saying that ain't no dirtbags in none of these places, but when you meet somebody who's cool, that's what they come out of these. That's what they come out of. I mean, there's people. There's people from all other walks and other places that are cool. But I'm saying majority-wise, because there's not a place. I don't think there's a place where I've met people that there was just nobody that was cool from that state. I don't think I've met anybody. Damn, that's a good assignment right there. Come on, Sir Flame, clock in. You just now saying salute to Gil? He said salute at Gil Coles. Okay, so I don't know, Sir Flame. So Where, as far as people that you didn't like, where did they come from? Is there a group? Is there a certain place where people come from where you just don't like them? Like all the people from the whole state suck, or what? Or that'd be pretty sad though. Now I met cool people from everywhere. I met cool people from Florida. I met cool people from, Texas. I got people, probably got people in every state anyway. So what's the difference? Cool people from, oh, some people I don't know from, like, I don't know anybody like really from like Idaho. I don't know anybody from like Wyoming. Not really, not offhand. Um, some people I don't know from certain states, but I meet cool people. It's just when you travel or whatever. If you just travel, when I'm not talking about you got to go overseas, but if you just travel, sometimes you just run into people. They just some cool ass people. Sometimes I see somebody dressed a certain way. I'll be like, damn. Look at, I say, I'm like, that's a cool little fit, and I don't discriminate. So I'm not looking. I'm not looking at a female. I'm not looking at a male. I'm just looking at somebody who's just like, oh, okay, that's okay. I like the way they did that. And sometimes it's not necessarily that it's that cool, but sometimes it's people like, especially when it's some of the old school people be cracking me up, man. They be cracking me up, but I'll be like, damn, they cool. This guy wears he have like a lime green suit on, a big hat, got the big giant feathers sticking out of it, and he clean. I'm like, okay, I like that. So when I see somebody like that, what I'm seeing is somebody who don't care about. They don't care about people. They don't care about you. They don't care about nobody. They just care like, oh, clean. Look at me. You know what I mean? But then some people do it, and it's like, I mean, you can't say nothing. You can't say you need to go home and take that shit off. You can't say that, but you want to say that. Okay, Loud D said for me, she said Detroit, Cali, New York, and Texas. Well, at least you got one of mine in the Texas. I mean, I don't know about, yeah, Detroit and Chicago can, but I'm just saying, out of all of my experience, like some of the coolest, like the guys, you got to go back. I'll tell you how you find out. How you find out is you go back to, I'm gonna say 60, like in the 60s, Martin Luther King era. Go from there, and then go up to about 80. I'm gonna say 80. What, 6? When was the Olympics? 84. Yeah. So go from like Martin Luther King Jr. era up until about 84, and then research this. Look at music. Probably look at music more than anything. You can probably look at music. You can probably look at authors, books, Brown history type stuff, photos. Just look at that, and then you're gonna see what I'm talking about. And that should be able to paint the picture like clear. The stuff they doing now ain't really. I mean, they scare me with some of the stuff that I see, like some of these boots and shit that these people want. These one-off boots and stuff that I see these people wearing now. They wearing $8,000 boots or something, one kind, $20,000 boots or whatever, come up to their knees and nothing but fur. They're like bear claws and stuff like that. To me, that's just like. I mean, you can't protect nobody with them on. You can't get no kind of trouble making them kind of fashion statements. It's like, so that's why we need to take, we need to take it up a notch. We need to take some steps up our own self, because it's like, this shit is crazy. We need to take a notch. Like I said, that's why I want. Don't worry, Lala. I'm not gonna miss you. I'll make sure I hit you up. I'll give you my other email. Yeah, if you got iPhone, let me know. You got iPhone, I mean, iPhone goes to any other iPhone for free or whatever. I don't know, something like that. Yeah. So if I say I get along with everyone, he said, as long as it's respect. That's it. That's what it is respect. But I'm just talking about the cool. I was talking about cool people though. I know it's kind of vague when you say cool, But okay, so I put it this way. So the people that's when I say cool, I mean like the ones that always kept themselves clean. Like when I'm talking about bathe, I'm talking about always kept themselves the cleanest, like with a nice tie on or something like that. Stacey Adams or something like that. Because I know way back in the day, way back in the day, probably 70s and shit like that. I knew New York. See, you don't think I don't know. I knew New York was like British Walkers at one point. British Walkers in the 80s. New York was like Shell Toes, Adidas, because of Run DMC and other groups. So don't think I don't know nothing. Don't, you always look at me like I don't know nothing. Oh, you don't know nothing. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, a lot of these say I had a hard time with Memphis women. Well, Memphis is crazy. That's one of those Merc capitals right there. Memphis, I wouldn't even want to visit Memphis. I'm like, I'm good. Surf Flames, I don't like the aggressive tone from New York because I always already have a short temper, but I love them toxic females though. Okay, stop it, Surf Flame. Yeah. See, I kept all that on the low. Don't be telling out the secrets and stuff like that. Don't be telling stuff. No, because I'll be honest too though, because I got like a spot. There's a spot for me, for the Brooklyn girls though. The Brooklyn girls, I like the Brooklyn girls. I do. I do like the Brooklyn girls. I like the DC girls. I like the Brooklyn girls. Detroit girls, yeah, some. Texas, some. So I mean, this little spots. I mean, if I was being like real, I put it this way: if I was being real, like picky, in that sense. But now I'm just open. I mean, if you meet somebody, you just open to meet them, and you're like, okay, that's what's up. I just like to meet people. I like to chop it up. I like to talk to people, and I just want to get, nobody can seem to get established when it comes to, getting you above where we should be at. We're so far behind where we should be at. But here's the point about it is it doesn't take any, it takes overnight. People always worry about this whole thing called time. No, it's day and night. It takes but overnight for you to get from one point to another. They got airplanes now. And airplanes can get you from anywhere in the world in one day. Yes, you have to stay, what they call that? What they call that when you stop, right? My mind is slipping. Yeah. I know they call it a joining flight, but there's another name, a layover. That's what they call it, layover. So when you got to do like a layover or something like that. You can get anywhere in the world that they allow you to go, because they don't allow you to go everywhere. That's how free you are. You can't go everywhere you want to, and because there's too many hidden treasures. That's the only thing they hide is treasures. In truth, they hide stuff that they don't want you to see because they've been lying. And just they let you travel anywhere in the world. You should be able to travel anywhere in the world, but they don't allow you to because there's some lies or some treasures. So that's what it's always about. It's always about deception. And once you learn that, you'll be okay. Oh, you don't have to learn it. You can, there's no conspiracy. Oh, you can think it's conspiracy if you want to, but you'll see for yourself at one point in time. Anybody that controls you and put a number on you from life to death, there's an issue there. How you don't know me, you don't know my family to be putting a label on them. You can't label me from life to death. How you labeling me from life to death? There's only one that can label you from life to death. Only one. Not man. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that, but that's the truth. That's not like speculation, nothing like that. Sorry. But oh, Sir Flame. Don't make me tell on your ass, Sir Flame. One of these old toxic females. Leave them toxic females alone, man. They ain't no good for you, man. That toxicity is something else, brother. Okay, let's get back to it. So nobody mentioned. So nobody wanted to say that Shakur. So Shakur didn't put on that great of a performance for y'all. Damn. Nobody said that. Oh, Shakur did his thing out there. How come ain't nobody says that? And that's why I talk about when I talk about the money and everything else. That's what I keep talking about. That if you can't even brag on him, then there's probably ain't gonna be no money for him. I'm gonna tell you, this is what's cold. Is a lot of people think that he signed it with Dozen, but guess what? The Dozen, Eddie Hearn said in front of Bob Arum, we would like to get him. He's a great talent. We would like to get him. And he looked at Bob like, but we ain't gonna pay him what you paid him. Like, wow. So he's already complaining that he ain't getting paid enough. So if he settles for that, that means he's gonna get paid even less. He said, I don't want to wipe them toxic females. I just like them. I know they can be a little bit on the rat side sometimes, but they fun though, because I mean there's one that I mess with on one of these apps that she be having me dying. I be crying when I go up in there listening to her. Some of them they rap, some of them they just funny as I don't know what. Shakur did exactly what I thought he was going to do, so I wasn't surprised either way. Yeah, but that's what. See, the information I'm trying to get out of y'all is, okay. So who actually showed us something that we got excited about? I mean, I already know. I mean, yeah, a lot of D mentioned it earlier, but we got to see how it worked though. So Oshaki won, right, or no? Did Oshaki lose? I didn't see the last part of the fight. Yeah, Davis was doing his thing, but I still, for me, I think Davis got touched a little bit. Yeah, he showed up. Yeah, he got touched a little bit. Everybody. So this is the thing with the boxing, which might be good though, because I just talked about this. So this might be a good thing. A lot of the fighters, they should have done. They probably should have done a lot better. Like Boots and a lot of these fighters, and even Shakur. But a lot of these fighters, but I'm gonna say that probably Shakur didn't get touched. But a lot of these fighters that we're looking at is up and coming. A lot of them got touched. And don't say, oh, because the boxing you're supposed to get touched. That's not what I'm saying. Yeah, of course you're going to get hit. But a lot of them got touched a lot more than we would think that they would get touched. But shout out to Keyshawn. He did his thing. And nobody still could answer that about Oshaki. Did Oshaki win or not, man? Because I didn't get to see I didn't get to see the result of the fight. Because in my mind, he won. But I didn't get to see the end of the fight. So if somebody can let me know, I would appreciate that. But yeah, he did. He did his thing. I would say he did his thing. But I'm saying we got to get more excited about Shakur. I don't know how that's gonna happen, y'all. I just don't. Okay, let me go and spell it for y'all. Since I say this over and over again, but nobody seems to listen to me. It is called prize fighting. Okay? Now there's somebody who's in charge of that bag. Okay? So no matter how much we like somebody and adore them, it boils down to prize fighting. So if we could not get the fight that we need to get, see, we can't get the fight that we need to get. Out of the fighters, then the bag holder is probably not going to put that much in the bag. That's all I'm saying. Now, Keyshawn, I can see him start getting. I can see him start, building his portfolio and getting some money. I can see that. I mean, everybody should be able to. We can see that. But when it comes to some of the fighters, I would say that there's some things they need to improve on. And just like when I reached all the way back to think about that you had an ex-champion, world champion, trying to show Deontay Wilder, just giving them some tips. This is how you want to throw your jab. And for that information to be just totally ignored, it's like that's what for some reason, Lennox Lewis already seen that you have the capabilities. Why is he showing Wilder a jab in the first place? I've talked about this in here. Yeah, and I heard that he lost about the decision. How in the hell did that happen? Did you see it? How did he lose though? They not protesting on that one? Because from what I saw on that fight, I watched that whole fight. I didn't see him lose. I just didn't watch the decision because I knew he had won. I don't know how they gave that to Conceicao. That maybe it's just not exciting enough. And see, actually, I'm glad the Sir Flame brought that up because that was my second example, Lala D. My second example was that, DeFoster lost that fight and he has one of those type of styles. So I'm kind of thinking if Shakur gets in too close of a fight, if he's fighting somebody who's way more exciting and he's close, he's not going to get the decision. And so that's what I was talking about when it comes to that ring IQ. Ring IQ is not just doing your thing in the ring and getting by. Ring IQ is doing your thing plus doing your thing and not just getting by, but mopping, dominating, or just showing who you are. I'm just using all those type of words so y'all can understand, or you can understand what I'm saying. Yeah, he said, yeah, it was a robbery. Yeah, it was damn sure a robbery. It was a robbery. I mean, we got to live with all these decisions, but it's a robbery. And so, Shakur is the type of fighter that can suffer from a robbery. Matter of fact, Haney, if he ever fights again, he's the type of fighter, he can suffer from a robbery, but hopefully he learned his lesson. Just go in there with no socks on and wear you some good shoes that can grip and go out there and fight the way you know how to fight. We just got to work on one thing with you in the first place. You got to work on that. You turning your damn punches over. Haney don't have a lot to work on. Defense now, blocking left hooks. Yeah, you got to work on that. Come on, dude. That should have been easy for you to work on that. It's one punch. That's not even a punch. That's not even the punch you should be really getting hit with in the first place. That's not one of those type of punches you should be getting hit with. Hooks. You shouldn't be getting hit with hooks in the first place. When you got a good straight jab, which he need to work on that jab, but like I said, work on your jab a little bit and your punch form, and just do what you got to do. I don't know. I'm not trying to be against any fighter. All of them need to be uplifted so we can get good fights because our main objective here is to just get good fights. I don't care all this shit. That best fight and the best shit ain't working for me. Just get some good fights. I don't want not no one-sided, barely one fight. Not no, I dominated, but you didn't do shit. Domination. When you dominate something, you leave with your hand raised before that last bell ring. If you dominated and the guy looking clean and you not, you didn't dominate. I always bring up the fight because this still stays on my mind. That Joshua Clottey fight versus Pacquiao, where Joshua Clottey wasn't throwing no punches, but Pacquiao looked way worse than he did after the fight. Wonder how that happened. There's just some weird stuff that happen, folks. There's some weird stuff that happens around us, and we just be looking at it like, oh, no, and we're just like oblivious to a lot of things that happen. But yeah, Shakur, we need you to step up. Okay, before I get out of here, I just want to just ask. I don't know if so. It's not old news. It just happened not too long ago, so it's not old. But what do you guys think about the whole Ryan situation? Did he, as far as the community and the two, how many communities did he offend? He offended at least two communities for sure. Matter of fact, it could be three communities if you put them together. So Ryan has offended multiple communities. Is there a way that he could excuse his way out of it? So that's the last question before we get up out of here. I do have to work. Let me see. Now, today I finally got an off day. So what I wanted to see, so that's the last question though. Is I just wanted to know, is there a way you can take your time? Is there a way he can get out of this? So different questions on the same subject. Was it? And this is not me giving out any excuses. Okay, so don't be thinking, oh, you giving them an excuse. No. Was it because of some type of substance that Ryan said these things? Was it out of his own spirit, his heart, whatever? Is that his true heart feelings? Was it just a mistake? You can say all of the above, none of the above, whatever. Or was it just, he's just trying to make a mockery? Was it a mistake? Or just young kid mistake? Or he knew what he was doing? Just burn bridges like that on purpose. He's been doing a lot of shit lately, so I don't know how you guys feel about it. If it hurts people or not, it can, because words can be hurtful because there's a lot of narratives that they use towards people, and you just have to figure out why certain things are done. Why certain groups of people hate for so long. Anytime that your ancestors can die out and you still have the hate, then something's wrong. Especially when they say hate and prejudice is taught. But it seems like some people just always have it. It's like, how are they still having it? How is this still happening if it's something that's learned? Why is the hate still here? And it's not, I'm not saying that so we can concentrate on hate. I'm saying it so we can try to figure out why. But we got to do something about it. I'm gonna do something about it anyway. We're gonna do something about it, and we're gonna talk about stuff that's not so not controversy in that sense. Got to talk about everything we talk about. Got to be more, uplifting. Okay, I guess you guys left. You guys probably had something to do, so nobody answered that question. So y'all know with that, I've been on for a while. I try to put in like my hour, but I've been out for a little bit. So at least we back in here. Anyway, my shout out to all the real people that I see, and my shout out to all y'all that mess with me. Y'all know what it is. Eagle Wear Boxing. This is Monday. Y'all know what it is. Nothing but peace. Nothing but uplifting. I still respect your blessing, Sir Flame, but we don't use that, man. I'm just finding out the new narrative on that. So we don't use the be less. That's what the bless is. Be less. These people, like I said, that's what we need to have. That's what you need to speak our own. Yeah, we need to speak our own, because it's just like when we speak theirs, it's like we're saying stuff. Our intentions are telling us this is what I'm saying. But at the same time, the other person is hearing something and understanding something completely different. That's why it's good to have your own language, because that way everybody understands what you mean. It's all, what I'm saying. I think Ryan is very smart, and it's all okay publicity. People will buy this pay-per-views to see him lose. Yep, that's one thing. But did he have to sell himself if he? But why? So my question to you before I get out of here, Sir Flame, is why would he sell himself so early? Why would he sell so early? You see what I mean? Why would he sell so early? Why not let stuff build first? Was this the right moment to sell? Just like on stock market or whatever. Was this the right time to sell that narrative? Like right now, to sell it now? Was the hate for him that big? Was it getting so big that he had to sell it now, or could he sold it later? I'm just saying. It's just another question. I mean, you can answer like late. You can answer anytime, but I'm just asking: should he have sold that now? That could be what it is because if you come right back, I mean, he seemed like he's just doing some idiotic shit, but it can get him in trouble. Because I can kind of agree with what you're saying, because it could be like, I know what I'm doing. I'm gonna come right back. I'm gonna tell everybody that I'm not gonna apologize, and then what do you do right away? You come back and apologize. So it's like, you fake. But I don't like that. As far as personality, you guys already know what I call that anyway, right? You guys know what I feel about somebody's personality. You guys already know. Everybody who come in here, they know. Everybody come mess with ego, they already know. Now, I'm going to call that shit suspect and quick. I'm going to call that with the quick, far as like suspect, and be like, oh, that's suspect. That's suspect personality, man. Suspect. Like, you straight up suspect personality and shit. It's like, you know what I mean? And that's what it is. That's suspect. And you know me, dude. I don't like none of that suspect shit. It's like, oh, get out of here. That suspect's like, oh, my goodness. That's why I kind of knew that. I knew Sean Porter wasn't going to grill him. I knew that. Like, a lot of people just went off. Like Stephen Jackson and a lot of other people, they just went completely in on him at the first time they started telling him, hey, this is not street. But actually, when I was listening to what Stephen Jackson said before I go, or when I was listening to what Stephen Jackson said, he said the same thing that I told you guys in here and be my witness right now. Because remember when I was saying that these fighters got to understand that they not built that way? Remember when I said that certain thing, when I said you fighters ain't built that way? I said you guys are fighters. I said when these guys calling themselves, yeah, you the baddest man on the planet and all this shit. The John Joneses and Deontay Wilders and all that. Yeah, you the baddest men on the planet, but that's boxing, and that's MMA. You guys ain't the baddest because if you feel like you're that bad, what happens is if you're that bad and people know you're that bad, then they don't have your skill set. They have a whole different skill set than you got. You see what I mean? So my skill set, I got people in my family, they skill set, I'm not as good with knives, but I got people that's good with knives. I'm good with hand weapons, like sticks. I'm good with sticks. I'm not talking about like a branch or something. I'm good with, when I say stick, I'm keeping it that way because it sounds safer. Oh, sticks, huh? Okay, you use your imagination. Use your imagery to find out what I'm saying when I say sticks. I'm good with sticks. And certain people are good with certain stuff. So it doesn't matter if you some kind of champ or whatever like that. That's what more or less what Stephen Jackson was saying, is that you're not built like that. Just keep it 100, keep it boxing. Don't start bringing in people's religion and ethnicity. Don't start bringing shit like that out because, because especially when you say I don't care what happened. Yeah, something will happen. Your security, I don't care how many securities you have. You can have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 security guards. You'll get all of them. You'll get all of y'all beat down. Well, then you'll protect them. We tried to, but it was a mob of 1,000. 10, you ain't gonna hold off. There's only a certain way that 10 can hold off 1,000. I'll just put it that way. That I don't know. I think later when he has a fight, will be fresh. But I really don't know. Yeah, so that's the point right there. What you just said right there. That make more sense, brother. Think about it. That make more sense to me. It make more sense to me if I'm going to antagonize a group of people. I'm going to do it like when I'm 3 months out from a fight. Because then they really going to hate. I mean, I got to go see this. You got to give people enough time to get their money together and they vacation together so they can go to whatever venue you're at so they can watch you get your ass whooped. See what I mean? So that's a good point. So that's, I mean, you now you seeing what I was thinking about. They gonna pop your ass, done deal. Yes. Damn, Sir Flat. I can't say it no better than what you said it, brother. I can't say it no better than that. You know what I mean? You said it. I mean that you hey, get your ass get your ass popped. That's it. I mean, we don't like to play like that, you know. I'm not saying all of us, you know, a lot of us been in those kind of, you know, situations and stuff. I'm not like, I ain't no like no innocent, I ain't no innocent guy or nothing like that. So, you know, but I try to be, you know, that's just youth. A lot of it has to do with youth and ignorance. But you can't use youth and ignorance if you have somebody to just like teach you, that you listen to. The whole thing about it is that you listen to the teachers. I'm not talking about in school, but you, that's the whole point is we not listening to the ones that really teach us. We ain't listening to them, or we didn't listen to them. That's what we got to do. And if you don't do that, then hey, you end up out there on some bullshit that you shouldn't have been on. Say, oh, he out there on that bullshit. Look at Sir Flame. Let me go get Sir Flame before you get in trouble. I'll tell you what though, brother. I don't know what lies for us in the future, man. But one of these days, maybe I can get your ass out the house, man. Um, if they got something close, if they got some kind of event close enough that you can get to, man. Yeah, we gonna hook up one of these times, man. We gotta hook up as a crew one of these. Me, you. I know Gil probably ain't getting out the house, but you know, me, you, Lala, whoever else, you know, want to show up. So, if we get our brother from overseas, you know, you know, just go chill, man, and laugh, you know, that's just gonna be funny. It's just, I'm not just funny. I mean, it's gonna be fun, like an adventure and stuff. We were supposed to did that fishing thing. I don't know what the hell happened, man. But yeah, I was trying my ass off to try to get like a good spot. Found that one spot, but it was kind of, it was where was that? Was it Iowa or something? Yeah, but with hopefully maybe we'll get this done before Eagle Webb sign off from this whole boxing scene. I'm probably gonna look at some volleyball players tomorrow. But anyway, I'm gonna catch y'all. And like I said, nothing but peace, nothing but uplifting, brother and sister. Oh yeah, Lala D will be back too.